You hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/Inkdependence keeps this channel ad-free. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and today we have a pen from a company called Bastion, which was new to me. They sent an email a while ago and said, hey, would you like to try out one of our pens for review? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So this is the pen that they sent out. The Bastion Luxury Executive Pen is what this stands for down here. And as you can see, this is made in stainless steel. Comes in this pretty nice box, has some foam. We got a nice foam cutout here. And you might be thinking like, wow, they're really protecting that pen. No, they're protecting other things from this pen. There's no way that this pen is going to get hurt in shipping. Frankly, I think it is pretty bomb-proof. So let's take a look at this pen. I'll show you some details. We'll talk about some stuff I like and don't like about it, and we'll compare it to some other pens that are kind of in the same style and price range-ish. So hang in there. Let's get going. So this is the Bastion stainless steel pen, of course. You have here on the side the Bastion logo right here above the knock. Right there, engraved. And that is all the branding on this pen, and I like that. I like minimal branding. You have a pretty nice clip here with two little Torx screws holding it on. It has a good curve. It has this is a good pocket clip. So it's really stiff, but you can definitely put it over a shirt pocket. You can put it over some jeans if you want. And it hasn't lost its spring at all, but it is pretty tight. So if you're trying to put this on like your business papers, you're probably going to wrinkle up your papers instead. So, you know, do be aware of that. There's nothing going on up here. This is one solid piece. And then here you have the bolt mechanism, which is one of the more popular ways, I think, to make these pens, which works like this. You kind of roll it down the bolt, and it extends the pen tip there. It is spring-loaded, it is very fidgety, and I have a couple of things here that I really like. One is that you can see these edges here on the interiors are rounded off. There are some companies that I've used that don't do that, and it can hurt your thumb. So like this one is a first-generation pen from another maker, and these bits in here are not rounded off, and it does kind of like, if you catch your thumb wrong, like it can kind of hurt your thumb a little bit. They are way better now, but this is from, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that. So that's a really nice detail, and I also like how the bolt here is nice and rounded off. That's a good feature, because if you're using something with your thumb like this, you don't want it to be sharp, you don't want it to be rough, you want it to be nice and round and slippy like that. So that's good. Down here at the nose cone, you really can't see where the seam is here on this stainless steel pen until you open it. And there it is, right there. But you close that down again, and it really disappears. So that's some good fit and finish there. I appreciate that. Opening this up, you have a few screw threads there. You have an O-ring to keep things nice and snug. You have a Parker style refill. This is a ballpoint, and it writes really just fine. It writes well. It is an unbranded Parker style refill, but this means that you can use ballpoint refills, rollerball refills, gel pen refills, all kinds of things in here in this style, and in a couple of the other like rollerball specific styles, because the carrier in here, which you can see down there, that is it's flat. So you don't need these little crookedy bits at the end. Those aren't doing anything. So anything that's this size ought to work just fine, I would think. Also, of course, there's a spring in here to keep all that working. So just thread these things together, screw it down, and there you have it. All right. So there's, I'll just show you. It scribbles real nice. Got no problems with this thing scribbling. It's been working really well. So nice ballpoint refill there, even unbranded. No problem with that at all. All right, let's look at it next to a few other pens. Okay, so here I have the Bastion next to several other pens that are the same kind of style and sort of in the same price range, and we'll talk about that sort of here in a bit. So here we have the Retro 51 Tornado. This is a Christmassy one because 'tis the season. This one is that one that's like like the first generation pen. I want to say that this brand was called Urban Survival Gear, maybe. It's now known as Smooth Precision Pens, and you know, pretty good little bolt action there, except for my quibble is the insides are rough, but the new versions of this pen are actually very nice. This one's made of copper. Then we have the Bastion here in stainless steel. We have a tactile turn bolt action pen here, which is made of bronze. And then we have the modern fuel pen. I want to say this is stainless steel. I'm pretty sure this is stainless steel and not titanium. So there you go. Those are some things that are pretty darn close to it. It's right in the same length range as all of these. And in fact, it's exactly the same length as the short tactile turn side clip click, like just exactly the same. The short bolt action has the mechanism inside, and so it's a little bit on the shorter side. But right in there, it's pretty good comfort zone. I like that size of pen. I think it's quite nice. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of things about this pen that I've got a couple of quibbles. One is that you get this action. You get a rattle in there when you shake it, and that's this mechanism up here. While this fit and finish down here is very tight, there's something up here that could be a little bit tighter, and it actually rattles when it's open and when it's closed if you shake it. You're not going to really notice it, I don't think, in your pocket probably, and it's not enough to rattle while you're writing, you know, so that's not a problem. It's not like that, like the dreaded tip rattle where this down here will rattle back and forth. I don't really get any of that. It's been pretty nice that way. So I don't love that rattle, especially not, really at the price range that this is listed as going for as a manufacturer suggested retail price, which is $103 according to their website, which puts it in the same range as like Tactile Turn, and there's not going to be, you'll have no rattle with these. So I don't really want that. We'll talk about that price thing here in a sec. The other problem that I have with this pen is that it is heckin' heavy. This thing is a chonker. As a person who doesn't want a super heavy pen, this is the heaviest pen in my house, and it's the heaviest pen by quite a lot. So this weighs 2.8 ounces by itself. That is 78 grams, and it's the same length, you know, as this, right? And these pens, which this is my second heaviest pen. This is the bronze version of the Tactile Turn Bolt pen. This weighs 50 grams. So that's 28 grams heavier on the bolt action here, the Bastion one, which when you're writing, you don't really notice because the weight on a pen like this goes straight down into the paper, right? So you're not having to like muscle this thing around or anything. It writes just fine. But when it's in your pocket, you're gonna notice that weight. I've actually dropped it a few times, just like, you know, I'll do like this and it'll just like whip itself out of my hand like that because I'm not used to the weight back here. And it's just like, I'm used to having something a little bit, you know, a little bit more, you know, a little bit lighter, you know? So it's got a lot of weight for it. Now, the good thing about that is that a lot of people equate being a heavy pen with being a very high quality pen. And so if you have a friend or you yourself are a person that's like, I really like a heavy pen, this is a very heavy pen. And so it will speak that quality language to you if you really want the heavy pen. So the weight is a little bit of a disadvantage in some cases, but also it's the thing that's going to make a lot of people happy. Right? So there's that. Okay, now let's talk about the price. I do have a promotional code for you, which is 20% off with MM20, and that is for the Bastion site. Also, when you sign up for the Bastion site or like get their emails or whatever, you will get a lot of emails about deals and announcements for these pens. There are a bunch of pens in this line. They also make a shorter version of this pen. They make it in zirconium, which not very many places will. Tactile Turn is the only one that I think of off the top of my head that does zirconium. You've got some carbon fiber stuff going on, all that sort of jazz. But the misrip of this manufacturer's suggested retail price of $103 seems very high for this pen to me. However, it's almost always on sale, it seems like. Currently, it's $69.99, and then if you go over to their Amazon store, which is just the Bastion Amazon store, and it seems like it's run by them, the same pen is $37. So that $37, that's hard to beat. That makes it the least expensive thing on this tray. The least expensive, I don't think I have any machined pens. I don't have any other machine pens that are in that price range. Like $37 is very low. So it's a low barrier to entry if you get it at the right time or at the right discount. It's got a lot of weight to it, which a lot of people like. And like I said, I think this is pretty darn durable. Like you got this rattle, but I mean, that obviously hasn't gotten any worse, and I don't think it's going to change. Like all the parts in this seem like they're pretty stout. Also, it says it is designed in the USA. It is not, I assume that means it's not made in the USA. I don't know where they're made in, where they are from, but, you know, whatever. They do pretty solid work. I mean, that's a tight seam down there. That's good finishing. Just this part up here could use a little bit more tweaking, I think. So that's my quibbles. So there you go. That's the Bastion Bolt Action. Thanks very much for watching, and thanks to Bastion for sending this out for review. Let me know what you think about these down in the comments, and you know, use that code MM20. That is an affiliate and discount code. You get 20% off, and I get something. I forget. I don't remember what. So there you go. That's it. See you later. Peace out.